4 today. So module 4 consists of two chapters actually. The first chapter will deal with packages and interfaces. The second chapter deals with multi-threaded programming. So multi-threaded programming. So where you will learn how do you create a threads in Java. So this will give you an introduction about packages. So basically you will be using the packages without your knowledge in the lab also. Like you will write some statement like package, the word package followed by some name for that package like pkj1, pkg2, like that you would have written that. So today we are going to talk about what is this package. So um, package means, see why we are using package. First we'll talk about why we are using package means the main aim of using package is to avoid naming conflict. For example, we have some four people working on a project. We have some four people who are working on a project. So everyone are writing the program in their own space. They are writing the program in their own space, in their own systems. So at the end, once all the functionality is written by the respective programmer, the program will be merged to or the program will be integrated. So in this time, chances are there that the class name will get collided. For example, I will use a class name called CSE, and some other program would have also used the same name CSE. So now two class name under the same project will lead to naming conflict or naming collision. So always the class name should be unique. So that can be avoided by using packages. And also second more thing is to control the access. So in Java we can use private, protected and public modifier for for giving the access restrictions. But by adding this packages, that controlling mechanism can be increased. Like within the package can you give the access, outside the package the access cannot be possible. So within the package you can give the access between the classes, outside the package you cannot give the access. So you are extending that. So that is where we are using the package. So mm till now we were telling that the class name was same. Class name was taken from the same namespace, meaning so for class name should be unique to avoid naming collision. But but when we run out of the names for the classes, we can use this package mechanism. So in order to prevent the programmer from getting out, like from prevent the programmer from moving out of the options, like to prevent him from using the class names, prevent him from using the same class names, we can have this package concept has been introduced so that he will not run out of the class names. So um, so by using this package, you can partition the class name into a more manageable mechanism. So package is used for both naming the classes and also for controlling the access to that classes. So you can define classes within a package that are not accessible from outside the package. So that is control mechanism. So for example, there is one package. For example, I'll write one package called one. For this, inside this package, I'll use two classes A and B. See, there is one more package called two. So now this package cannot access these two classes. So like that you can control. So it is also used for controlling also. Within the classes, the code is accessible, but outside the classes, the code is not accessible. So that controlling mechanism and all we will learn. So this is possible. So within the package the code can be accessed between the classes, but when someone from outside want to access this package means that mechanism can also be controlled. So you can decide the class members who can access, or who can be accessed by the other members of outside packages. So like this the control mechanism can be managed. So this is regarding the packages. So with or without your knowledge you will be using uh, some of the packages in Java. So when in laboratory you will be using one package. In laboratory you will be using one package like java.util package. So you will be using this package, you will be using. So we will learn why we will be using this um, packages, and also you will be using util package, you will be using IO package. So like that some packages you will be using. So first thing, how do you create a package? So you're using the package, but how do you create the package? See, in order to create the package, you should write a command called package followed by the package name. So I want to create a package by the name. I want to create a package by the name. Uh, what name shall I give? I'll give it as my pack. So this is my package. I want to create a package by the name package 1. So pkg1. So I can write it. So this is like this. I can give the package name. So how do I create a package? How do I define a package? Package followed by the package name. So that is how you can create a package in Java. So to create a package in Java, write the package word followed by the name of the package, and this should be your first line. This should be your first line in the source file. So wherever you are writing the program, this should be your first line. Any classes that are declared under this package will belong to this package. So for example, I'll just show this in Eclipse IDE. So now I want to create a package. Now I want to create a package means I'll write it as package my pack. So you don't worry about this terminology. This is just for understanding. I'll execute this later. So I have created a package now. So this is how you should create a package, and this should be your first line. This should be your first line. So you cannot write package after writing some classes. I'll write some class called A, and after that I'll write the package. No, this is not possible. So the package should be the first line in the program or in the source file where you are writing the program. So after this, you have written the package. You have written the package. Now, now this is how you should write. You should create the package. So this line is creating a package by the name my pack. So after this, if I write whatever code I write, so I will create two classes now. I will create two classes. One by the name A. I've created one class called A, and I'm creating one class called B. So now I've created two classes. These two classes will belong to a package called my pack. So these two classes will belong to a package called my pack. So this package statement will give the namespace in which the classes will be stored. So if I don't write this line, so if I don't write this line, if I don't write this line, if I don't write the package statement, the class name will be put into default package. The class name will be put into default package. See, this default package is useful for short programs, but for real applications, you need to always write a package statement. So this is how you can write the package. This is how you can create a package, or you can define a package in Java. You can define a package in Java. So package name. So your package name is the name of the package. So this is regarding the one thing. So this is regarding uh, how do you define package?
So,
Yes.
package name should be same as class or project name,
No,
sir.
no, 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 no. It can be anything. It can be anything. So there is no distinction that you should give the package name as the class name or the project name. Not nothing like that. Whatever name you want, you can give.
Okay, sir.
See, you're just creating the folder. That's all. See, package means it is like a folder inside which you're storing the files. So the other files are classes. So the package can contain collection of classes. So only thing you should remember is the class name should be same as the file name where the main function is there. So thing you should be that thing you should keep in mind, because that will be the entry point for the program. The program will start from the main function. No, So it should search. So when the class name is the class name is same as the so why you should give the file. See, for example, in all my applications, in all the programs which I've written, so whatever program I've written, s- so this class name will be same. So wherever demo is there, so inside that class itself the main function will be there. So because this will act as the entry point, so that is the reason what we will tell in when we are explaining means, so whatever, see, wherever is the main function, so you keep the file name as, you keep the class name of that file, uh, uh, sorry, you just keep the name of that class as your file name. That's also here main function is inside a class called demo. So that's why this, when you are creating a class, that name of that class should be demo, so that it will act as an entry point for the program to run. um, so there is one program called merge sort. There is one program called merge sort. So one second, where is that merge sort? I'll expand this. So here, the name of the program, I've given it as merge sort because the main function is there inside a class called merge sort. So that's why the file name I've given like that. But that is not the case with package. For package, you can give any name. So there is no restriction that the name should be like this, like that, nothing. So whatever name you like, you can give. So this is regarding the naming convention. Any doubts? Fine, right? Okay. So the next thing is, um, how this package will be stored. See, this package will be stored through the file system directories. That means it will be stored in the form of folders. So directories means it's like folders only. So Java uses the file system directories to store the packages. So the class name file for any class which we are declaring inside a package should be stored in that directory called my package. For example, what I did, so I created in a program, what I created a package called, I created a package called my pack, and I created two classes, class A. I created two class A, class B. So Java will use the file system directory to store the packages. So this class files A and B should be inside a directory called, my pack. Meaning, so there will be a folder. So there will be a folder called my pack. So inside that folder, you have to store class A file, class B file. That's all. So that is the simple meaning. So Java file system uses directories to store the packages. So the dot class file for any classes which we are going to declare in that package should be stored in that directory called my pack. So this is the thing. So for example, in this example, I've created a package called my pack. So it is containing two classes. So those two classes should be stored inside a folder called my pack. So inside this folder called my pack, so I should store those two files, class A file and class B file. So that is how you have to store the files. Um, so this is the no, so this is uh, the storage mechanism that is being followed. um, and also we can have multiple files, so we can have multiple files within the same package statement also. The package statement will just tell us to which package does the class defined in that file belongs. It doesn't include other classes in other files from being part of the same packages. So you can also create an hierarchy of packages. You can also create an hierarchy of packages. So in order to do that, what we have to do means, um, we can separate each package by one another by the usage of dot symbol. By the usage of dot symbol, you can separate the packages. So I'll just tell that. See, I'll repeat this statement. You can create an hierarchy of package. Hierarchy of package means multiple packages. You can create multiple packages. So how do you separate one package name from the other means by the usage of dot symbol. By the usage of dot symbol. For example, package java dot util dot java.util dot some class name I'll write. So this class name can be, see, which um, have you used the scanner class and all you would have used in lab program, I think. So you would have used this classes under
Excuse me,
java.
sir.
Yes,
So the screen
yes.
is being lagged, sir.
1 second, I'll just check now if any application is there. I'll just close. Okay, 1 second, I'll just close few things. Just now whether you're able to see the screen and the voice.
Yes, sir.
See, okay. So see, hierarchy of package means how the packages will be stored. I told you that the package can be separated when you have multiple packages. Those packages can be separated by the usage of dot symbol. Package one dot package two dot package three. So here three packages are separated by dots, which we'll call it as the period. So now how it will be stored means, for example, uh, I will just write the one which we will be using, java dot language dot system. So this is one of the package. So this is one of the package. So this is one of the package. So here the top level package is java. So first there will be a folder created by the name package, name java. So inside this folder we have one more folder by the name language. So inside this we have one more folder given by the name system. So that is how the packages will be stored. So this is the package hierarchy. This is the package hierarchy, which will be there in the Windows environment. So in the Windows environment, so whenever we have multiple packages, it will be stored like so. The main folder will be Java. Inside that folder, we'll have language folder. Inside that language folder, we will have system folder. So the location will be like this. The location will be like Java slash language slash system. So like this. So this is how the hierarchy of packages will be there. So this is how the hierarchy of the packages um, which will be there. So if you want to rename the package means, first thing is you should consider renaming the directory in which the class files will be stored. So this is regarding the how do you define a package, how the multiple packages are being used in Java, the hierarchy of package. And next thing is how do you run the package? How do you run the package in Java? So how do you run the package in Java means, so there are multiple ways. So this I'll just write the command later. So how do you write the package? How do you run the packages? How do you run the program which contains packages in Java? See, when you're running through the Eclipse, you will not find the difference. When you're running through the Eclipse, you'll not find the difference. But when you write the program in Notepad, so at that point of time, the commands will vary. So the commands will vary. So I'll just show this part of the uh, programs through the command prompt itself. So in the Eclipse, you doesn't feel the difference of running the files from the Eclipse environment. So that's why. Um, so uh, how you can run? So how you can run means, so we have some three mechanisms. So see, the first thing is the Java system. See, you know that by default the Java runtime system will use the current working directory as the starting point. So if my package is in the subdirectory of the current working directory, it will be found. See, for example, this is my working directory. So this is my working directory. I will call it as I'll just call it as desktop. So this is my working directory. So this is my current working directory for my Java. So if my package is within this folder called desktop, so within this folder, if I'm using a package called mypack, then it is easy to it will be found out, because my by default the Java runtime system uses the current working directory as its starting point. If my current working directory in this example is desktop, and if my sub package is inside that desktop, so for example there is a I've created a folder by the name desktop. Inside that folder I have created one more folder called mypack. So if that is the case, it will be found out. Otherwise, you can specify the directory path by setting the class path environment variable. So you can specify the directory path by specifying the class path environment variable by specifying the class path environment variable. So that is how you can do that. Or or you can use minus class path option. You can use minus class path option with Java and Java C command to specify the path to classes. So these are the ways. These are the ways in which you can run this file. So three things. So three things you should consider. So one thing is, for example, I'll create a folder called. Uh, I'll create a folder called package example. So I will create a package called my pack. So I'll create a package called my pack. So I've created a folder called my package. Sorry, I've created a folder called package example. So if this is my starting point, if this is my assume that this is my starting point for the execution. So this will be my starting point or the current working directory for the Java runtime system. So if within this folder, if I create a folder by the name my package, then I can run the package program. If not, if not, I should specify a directory path. I should specify the directory path. So where this file is available by setting this class path environment variable, or I can use minus class path hyphen class path option with Java and Java C command to specify the path to class name. Meaning, see here you should give the location of the class. Here you should give the location of the class, so that the class will run whenever you are executing with the packages. So whenever you're executing with the packages, you should make sure that you're specifying the path where your class file is available. So that thing you should keep in mind. So we have three options. One is you can execute above the directory, above its directory. The subdirectory will contain the package. Or the second thing is use the class path environment variable, or use minus class path options available to specify the path to your class name. So in Windows, in Windows, how I can tell in terms of Windows means. So there is a folder C drive will be there. So C drive my program, C drive my programs, Java will be there. So if you have created a package, if you have created a package, um, if you have created a package by the name. So if the package is you have created and the name of the package you have given it as my pack. So then when if you want to run this program, means you can run it from this location. So when you want to run this program means the class path should be the one folder, the one location before this package name. So the class path will be C my programs / Java. See that how it is done means, I'll just show uh, how it will be done means. See now my current working directory is, now I'll just rename this current working directory as Java. So if my program, see if I've set my class path to Java means, so uh, here I will create one more package called my pack. Now if I've created if I've created a package, if I've created a package by the name my pack, then if I want to execute this package, if I want to execute this program means I have to execute it from the location, from the directory above this. The directory or the folder above this is Java. So I can execute that file. I can execute that file. I can execute that file. I can execute that file from the Java location. I can execute that file from the Java location. So that is how I can execute that. So or example, I'll give few more examples. I'll give few more examples. So where shall I give this? Okay. See my current working directory. So see I've created a folder. I've created a folder called Java. So Java. After this is my working directory. So this is my working directory. So all my files are getting executed from here itself. So I've created a file. I've created a package by the name called my package. Now, if I want to execute this means I have to give the path from this location. I have to give the path from example location. So from the example folder, if I give a command, since my package is the subfolder of that example folder, it will get executed. If not, the second case, I have to give the class path environment variable, or I can use minus class path option to execute this package command. So this is also, that is the example which I gave. So if my current working directory, if my current working directory is still Java, and I've created a package in this location. So if I want to execute this my package means I should execute it from this location. C programs/Java. Did you understand this? See one folder above the package so that you can remember. So whether you got this point, yes or no? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, see. mm, See now you have created a package. So you have created a package means once you write a statement called package my package, so some it will be in the form of folder. Now if I want to execute this my package means in Java, I cannot execute from this location. I cannot execute from this location. I have to go to its parent folder. So this my package is in which folder? This my package is in examples folder. See, I've created a folder called Java. Within that Java, I've created a folder called example folder. So within that example folder, I have this package by the name my package. Now, if I want to execute this package program means I can execute it from the example folder, the one folder before that package. Did you get this point? So if you want to run this program means you cannot execute from the my package location. You have to go one step before that. So one step before that package is the examples, the example folder. So from this you can execute that package program. Did you get this? Yes or
Yes, sir.
no? Okay. So now if you want to run this, means how do you run this means Java package name. Package name is my pack in this my pack dot file name. So if I given the class file name as a, if I given the class file name as a my pack dot a, if I given the class file name as demo means my pack dot demo. So if you want to run means you can run by specifying the package name followed by class name. So this is how you can execute a package program. How do you execute the package program? You can execute a package program by specifying the package name dot file name. I mean the class name. So this is how you can execute. So directly if you try to give, directly if you try to give, um, the file name. If the file name is demo, directly if you try to give the demo, you will get an error. So if your program contains a package, you can execute that class by giving package name dot class name. So that is the thing. So this is regarding the how do you run the package, how do you compile the package, how do you run the package. The next important topic is access protection. So access protection. So before knowing about the access protection, I'll just give few points. You just understand that I am creating a package called P1. So this is my package 1. I am creating a package called P2. This is my package 2. So in package 1, see in package 1, I am creating class A. See, I'm just writing the names. I'm not writing the code. I'm creating class B, and I am creating class C, which is extending the class A. So package 1 contains three classes. Okay. So here C is the subclass of A. C is a subclass of A. That means C and A are related. B is not related to A as well as C. Here also, I'll write the same thing. Class D, class E. So I'll write only two classes. I'll write only two classes. So now class A and class B, they are the classes belong to package 1. Class C, it is the subclass of subclass of class A, which is there in package 1. Here we have two classes D and D. They are not related, so they are the non subclasses. So non subclasses means they are not related to any classes, and they are inside this package P2. So if I tell subclass means here which is the subclass, here C is the subclass of A. Non subclass means here B is the non subclass. If I talk about package 2, D and D are non subclasses. Why I am talking about non subclasses means you so this is the naming convention, the naming terminology. So now earlier we were talking about public members, private members, protected members. Now this is giving us another dimension. Now the package is giving us another dimension for controlling the access. So see, by using packages, the multi-level, like many levels of protections can be obtained with respect to variables, with respect to functions within the classes, within the classes, within the subclasses, and within the packages also. By using these packages, we can have control within the methods, like the variables and methods, controlling of variables and methods within the classes, subclasses, and packages also. So now we have four categories. Subclasses in the same package. See, subclasses in the same package means here what is a sub when I talk about P1, so what is the subclass here? What is the subclass here? What is the subclass in package 1? What is the subclass in package 1? Hurry up, hurry up.
Class
C. Okay. Class C is the
C.
sub package. Okay. Class C is the subclass in package 1. So non-subclasses. Non-subclasses means class B and class A are non-subclasses because they are no way related. So here B is a non-subclass in the same package. Okay. Subclasses in the different package. So subclasses in the different package means if I write like this, so class D extends. So yeah, if I write class D extends A, now class D, it is a subclass. It is a subclass, but it is in different sub packages like that. So this is one category. This is one category, and classes that are neither in the same package nor subclasses means class E. So it is not in the same package also. It is in different package and also, and it is not a subclass also. Like this, you can have different relationships. See, all these things will study with the programming example. As of now, you should know the terminology. So now, how the access controlling will be done. So we will come across four categories: subclasses in the same package, non-subclasses in the same package, subclasses in the different package, and classes which are not in the same package, and they are not subclasses also. These four categories will come, and we'll study each one of them with different examples, different programming examples. So now we have this chart. Now we have this chart. So one thing you should remember. So one thing you should remember is, if the access is public, if that will come from here, if the access is public means anywhere it is accessible. If there is a class, if it is in the same class also, yes. Same package subclass also, yes. See, for example, package P1, package P1. So package P1 will contain class A. Class A will contain some variables and functions, variables and functions. Class B will also contain variables, functions, and class C, it is extending the class C, it is extending a class. So like this, some terminology. So if I make it as same class, so within the same class, if I make it as public, so anyone can access variables, functions, anything, all anyone can access. Public means general access. Within the same package subclass also, anyone can access. So different package, so different package P2, so different package. Here also written class D and class E. So if the access is public, same package non subclass. So if it is public access means, keep one point, if public access means anyone can access, whether it is inside the package, outside the package, within the subclass, non subclass, different package, non subclass, access is given. So this you should keep in mind. So um, anything which is declared public can be accessed from anywhere. So whenever, if a method is declared public, if a function, if a class is declared public, if a variable is declared public, it can be accessed from within the package, outside the package also, anywhere it is accessible. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next thing is most complex thing. The next thing is private. So private means, if I declare it as a private means, if I declare it as a private means class A, so there is some variable called I. So if I make this I as private means it is accessible only within this class, only within this class, this variable I is accessible. Other places, no. Other places, no. So this is private. So private means within that class only it is accessible. Outside that class, it is not accessible. So this is regarding the private. So this is regarding the private. uh, so private means very, what do we call, so it is a very highly restricted thing. So after this we have only two things. After this we are left with no modifier. So no modifier means it is also known as the default. So no modifier means it is also known as the default and protected. So this, it is also known as the default and protected. So here, how it is accessible, means you can just check it out from the table itself. So uh, within the same class, so same class accessible, same package subclass can also access, same package non subclass also access, but different packages access is not allowed. So when it is default means, when it is default means within the package accessing is possible, but someone tries to access from the outside means not possible. So this is regarding the default or no modifier. Within the same class, accessing is allowed. Same package subclass, accessing is allowed. Same package non subclass, accessing is allowed. So from see, same class allowed, same package non subclass, B is non subclass, allowed, same package subclass, allowed, but different package subclass. So different package subclass, different package non subclass. So if I just create a relationship here like this, so different package subclass, default not allowed, different package non subclass not allowed, like this, accessing. So when you talk about protected, same class allowed, same class subclass allowed, I mean same package subclass allowed, same package non subclass allowed, same package See, same package, subclass is also allowed, non-subclass is also allowed, but different package, if we have this relationship, if different package, if we have this relationship, if different package, and if we have this relationship like it is a subclass, but in different package means accessing is allowed. For the class D, accessing is allowed. Different package, non-subclass means accessing is not allowed. So you can see this table, and it will give you the this will give you the summary. So did you get this? Did you get this? See, default access means, remember this, default access means within the package accessing is possible. Outside the package it is not possible. Protected means within the package it is possible. Outside the package means only subclass can access. Only subclass of that package can access. So that thing. So if there exists a inheritance relationship between two classes, then it is possible in case of protected. So this is how you can remember. So how you can simplify? Public means anyone can access. Private means within the class you can access. Outside the class, no way to access. Default means within the package accessing is possible. Outside the package accessing is not possible. Protected means within the package accessing is possible. Outside the package means only if there is a subclass, then it can access. Otherwise you cannot access. So like that. So that is regarding um, the protected. So see here, accessing, who can access means the codes can access. So whether you got this point, yes or no, or any confusions? Or whether you understood? See, generalize, that's all. Public means anyone can access. Private means within the class only accessing, other places not allowed. Default means same package. So you can take your class as a package. So A section, so within the package it is possible. B section, within that class it's possible. C section, within that class is possible. Protected means within that class the accessing is there, but outside the class means only the CRs, only the not the CRs. If some cousins are there, like that, in that cases the accessing is possible. Like the accessing in the sense the informations can be gathered, or the information can be accessed. That's all. Like that, the code can be accessed. Here we'll be talking in terms of code, so you can remember like this. So these are the four ways in which this modifiers can be used to control the accessibility. For each of the thing, we'll write a program and we'll check how it is accessing. So this is regarding the access control. The next thing is importing the package. So importing the package means, see, already all the functionalities is being written. Is being written. So you want to use those classes. So here I told you that package is a collection of classes. Package is a collection of classes. So all the classes will be stored in some package. For example, we have packages like java.util. We have package called java.util. We have package.java.io. We have package.java.lang. So we have multiple packages are there. So so we can use the standard classes that are stored in that package. So how do we use that? So in order to use the package, we should use the statement called import. So import will bring the complete package, or only the certain package which, or the certain class which we need, based on the way which we import. So once the package has been imported, the classes can be used directly by specifying the name itself. So uh, examples, we'll go with examples. So first I'll write the example, that will be better. So if you want to import a package, see, we know that all the classes are stored in packages. So all the standard classes will be stored in some packages. So um, we can use those packages. How to use those packages means, to use those packages we will go with the keyword import. We'll go with the keyword import. So if I want to if I want to use all the classes, if I want to use all the classes of a package called util package, there is a package called utility package. So if I want to use all the classes of this package means I can write it as java.util.star. Star means all the functionalities that will be implemented or that will be imported. I don't want all the classes. I want only one class called date class. So I can import only the date class also. Import java.util.date. So like this also I can do. I don't want all the classes. I want only the date class. I will import only the date class. So which is better? Which is better? So um, it is always better to import only those classes that are needed. So here, if you're using only date class, then import only date class. If you're using star means, it will it will not be the efficient ones. Unnecessary classes are being loaded. That is how you can um, you can use this import statement. So where this import statement should come in Java? So if you are, the import statement should come immediately after the package statement. So immediately after the package statement, this import statement should come. So the import statement should come after the package statement. So I've written a package called package p1. So after this, I want to write the import statement, import java dot util dot date. So this is how I should write. So either I can give the class name or either I can use the star also. So those so here Java is the top level package, and inside the Java package we have a util package. We have a util package, and inside that util package we have a class called date class. So everything, each of them is separated by a dot. Each of them is separated by the dot. So like this you can use. So you would have used some packages. You were using import dot util dot star or import dot io dot star. So like this you would have used some packages. Some packages you would have used in Java. So now from now onwards, it's left to you. So whether you want to import all the classes or you are import only specific classes. Like you were using the scanner, you would have used this import util star to import a class called scanner. Like something line you will write scanner sc is equal to new scanner. Some statements you will write in this Java, right? So the scanner class is from the package called util package. Import java dot util dot star. So it's not import. See, I'm writing the statement, but I'm explaining. But when I'm writing, I'm missing those things. So import java dot util dot star. Import java dot io dot star. So these are some of the packages which you would have used in uh, ja- which you would have used in the lab sessions. So now, sir, why I should use this? Why I should use this import statement? Why can't I? What is the advantage? What is the advantage of this using this name means? See, every time. So if you're not see one, if you're using this import statement. So for example, um, okay, I'll just give an example. I'll just give an example um, of this scanner class itself. So now, if you're using this import statement, import java dot util dot star. After that, you can use this line. You can use this line. So, sir, I don't want to use the import statement. So if you don't want to use the import statement also, it's fine. Don't use. But every time when you're using the scanner word, you have to write like this: java dot util dot scanner, then sc is equal to, like that you have to write the same way. If we take about our system, no system, it is the system class is from the package called java.lang. So instead of like this, if you know, if it is not imported by default, means every time we should have written java.lang.system. So fully qualified name we should write. So that is getting simplified. So that is getting simplified. Just use the import statement once, and from then onwards use the classes without writing the fully qualified name. So that is the usage of um, this import statement. And by default this package will be imported by default. This java.lang package will be imported by default. So when you are trying to so this java.lang will be imported by default. So when you are trying to imagine a situation where you are importing two packages, util.star and language.star. So if these two packages contains the same class name, if these two packages contain the same class name, so for understanding we'll assume that these two packages have a class name as both. So java.util.star also has a class name a, and java.lang.star also has a class name a. So till you won't use those class names, the conflict will not come. So if you're not using the class name, if you're not using the class name a at all, then when you are running the program, when you're writing the application, you will not get any error. Suppose if you're trying to use a class name which is there in both the packages, that time the error will come. So whenever you have a package, which whenever you are importing a package, and if that imported package contains imported packages contain class name which are having the same class name, then then the issue will come only whenever you are trying to use that class name. If you're not using that class name, the compiler will not throw the error. So this is the usage. So this is the one thing which you should keep in mind. So if the class with the same name is if the class with the same name is there in two different packages, um, which you have imported using the import statement, the compiler will keep quiet. The compiler will keep quiet if you are not using those class names. So if you try to use at least one of the class name, then the compiler will throw the error. The compiler will throw the compiler time error. So that is the one thing. Um, this is this is the usage. So this is how. So in that case, how to resolve that issue means, so you have to resolve that. So if you want to use a class A of language a package, means just use a fully qualified name java.lang.a. Or you want to use the class name of util package, means you just write java.util.a. So like this you can resolve. So this is how. So this is the usage of this is how that error can be overcome by using the fully quantified name. So this is the concept which like the fully qualified name can be used to overcome that error also. So you cannot write that fully qualified name in each and every statement. So the better option will be to write to import the package and write the class name which we will be using. So all these things so this is the theory behind this theory which we have studied till now. So the same thing, the same examples, the programming examples we will see in the next class. So I'll just stop the class now. Any doubts regarding the packages, how to define the package, how to run the package, what is the access control, how do you import the package? So these are the things which you should know. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay, so the same thing we'll check with the programming examples. The same thing we'll just check with the programming examples in the next class. In the next class, we'll just check the same thing with the programming example. So for this package thing, I'll execute the programs in command prompt. In command prompt, I'll execute that. The rest of the applications can be run in that Eclipse itself. Okay, I'll stop the class then.